Welcome to Challenging Tuesday Chats, episode 4. Now, I'm dressed up particularly for our next guest. What is your name and what role do you play?
Well, I'm Pamela Edmonds, and what I do is I help young people fulfill their potential and realize their dreams. And what I aim to do is to maximize their outcomes and make a difference to their lives. So I am the head of the Hampshire School in Chelsea.
Wow, great introduction, fantastic. Look, Pam, how would you describe the Hampshire School?
Well, it's a prep school, a traditional prep school in London, centre of London, 2 to 13 plus, co-educational. We have the most amazing community. We have local families and international families who are incredibly welcoming. The education here is outstanding. And the reason it's outstanding is because we really focus on individual pupil progress. We personalised the learning for every child, and we can do that because we have small classes and high pupil teacher ratios. So within that personalised learning, we have specialised teaching too, all the way from nursery through to 13 plus. And that starts in nursery with French and ICT, PE, music, dramas, taught by the teachers that teach right across the span, which means that transitions are so smooth. We maximise progress because I publish to parents all the data, so parents know exactly where their child is in their learning. But not only that, we develop in the children the ability through making learning visible, a knowledge of where they are, and they know how to learn because they can see how learning affects and impacts their outcomes.
Pam, it's quite an international school, isn't it? I mean, you've got people from all over the world.
We have, and it's wonderful at the moment because we have children actually sitting all over the world accessing online learning. But we also have local families. And so what makes this school special is that combination. If you're looking for a school that has that wonderful balance of local families, local London families, and a flavour of international families, you get that wonderful cultural mix. And therefore, we don't have to force cultural understanding. It is here, it is embedded, it's in everything that we do. It pervades the corridors. So it's a wonderful community.
Well, yeah, I know that a lot of schools try to do that, but it just seems to come naturally to the Hampshire School.
Absolutely, it does, yes. And of course, most of our children are bilingual or trilingual.
The Hampshire School has an interesting history, Pam, doesn't it? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
It has a fabulous history. So it was founded in 1928 by the Hampshire family, who you may know were an acting dynasty. So it was academically incredibly successful from a non-academically selective intake. But what it also had, in addition to that, was a focus on the performing arts. And so that tradition has prevailed all the way through to current times, and we really love and relish that. It's also in the iconic building, of course, in Chelsea, the old Chelsea Library, which makes it very special.
And then we can actually, Pam, we can see it behind you, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I hope so. That's brilliant. Yeah. So, and of course, we have Bellevue Education that came in 2018 to operationally manage the school. And so we can tap into those great resources. So, yes, a great history and a great development of the school and a really exciting time to be part of it.
Sounds great. Now, my daughter's a wee bit too old to come to your school. She's 23. That is too old, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yes. We stop at 13.
Shame, because it sounds fantastic. But if she were a little bit younger, and I was lucky enough to live in SW3, what would attract me to send Anna to the Hampshire School, do you think?
Well, the first thing I would do is ask you, obviously, about her, and I would ask what her passions and her strengths, and I'd need to know at the time that you were applying, what age she was, because that would be very important for me to know, because the most important thing is that partnership with parents and really understanding the child and how they will fit in the school. But in terms of being a local girl, I mean, she would probably have friends that would come here and she will know the area. So she would feel very, very comfortable within this community. Not only that, the strengths that I've mentioned about the school, I think she would probably tap into, including the activities, which can be anything from ballet to football. Of course, sport at the Hampshire School is not by gender, of course. Any child can be in any team. And so I think she could probably really embraced not only the performing arts, but also the whole array of different things that we do in addition, the extracurricular to the main curriculum. So, for instance, archery, lambda, chess, whatever our passions are, we would have it here with 40 plus clubs.
Well, I can tell you now, it wouldn't be ballet. Thinking about her, but she is a fantastic rower, and of course you've got the river not so far away. Pam, did you bother going to university at all?
I did. So I first of all went to Teacher Training College, and then on to the University of London for my bachelor's, and then I later went to the University of Bath, where I studied for my master's and doctorate.
Which of course is why I'm dressed like this, because I am interviewing a true academic. So just for you, Pam, I've got my gown and hood.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Very welcome. Pam, what's been your greatest professional challenge over the last 12 months, and how have you overcome that?
I would say that supporting, I see challenges as opportunities and room for development and growth, and certainly this year has been that. And I would say that the biggest challenge has been supporting very much our families, staff and children in this unprecedented time of COVID-19. And that has been, if you think about those three different areas, you've got the parents who are working at home, often trying to support their children with remote learning. You've also got critical workers, children, where we need to support them in school and want to do that the best we can, and that combination. And the way that we have approached that challenge is to have regular contact with our parents, many virtual meetings, so that we meet with parents on a bi-weekly basis and individually as well, just to make sure that every family is being supported, because mental health and well-being is absolute top priority. One, resilience and respect and responsibility are our core values, and we live and breathe those. So it's really important to get that right. And then, of course, by bringing in what is quite a number of critical workers, the staff are here too. And so therefore it's also about how the challenge is, how do we make sure that the staff feel able to come in, be safe, and to be able to deliver the best education. And we've implemented with the team, obviously, many initiatives, including picking up the staff from home and dropping them so they don't have to go on public transport in London. We've got obviously the usual lateral flow test, masked and distancing, which everybody has. But also we've got takeaways for staff so that they need to value them. We have staff shout outs on a Friday to say thank you to different everybody in the school. And we've also transformed the timetables, and that's been done in consultation with the parents and the children. So I'd say the challenge, the answer to your question, the challenge has been how to manage and support people during a pandemic. And when I trained as a teacher, I didn't think I'd be saying that.
No, I think there's a few thousand people saying the same thing, Pam. Okay, so that's section 1 done. I've got a section 2, which I just love playing. And in fact, the tables were turned this morning. I was working with a school in Manchester called Forest, and their year 5 played this game with me. It was great fun. I hope you find it fun. So I'm going to give you 2 words.
Okay.
You choose one of them.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Kindle or book?
Book. Absolutely book. I love the feel, the smell of a book.
Oh.
In fact, I'm not very good with books, because I actually, by the end of it, you would know I've read it, because it's dog-eared. But a book, fantastic. No contest.
I give up on people, because I just tell them, get the book like this and put the Kindle inside it, and then you can feel the book, but you've got 130 other books within. Anyway, I've not persuaded many people about this. Right, question 2, custard or cream?
Oh, I love both, for different reasons. Difficult choice. I think I'd have to go for cream, because I feel it's rich and luscious and a pleasure.
Are you describing yourself, or
And we all need a little bit of that in our lives.
We certainly do. What about waltz or samba?
Well, again, I love dancing. It's always been a passion of mine. So
I know I've seen you on the dance floor.
So I do love both. They're very different dances. I think the grace of the waltz is very attractive, and I think it's a lovely dance. However, the samba with that rhythm, and of course I love jazz as well, I think has that added ingredient, I would say, that just makes one really enjoy it.
Sorry, which did you choose?
Samba.
Samba, got it.
Yeah, look, once again.
Land Rover Defender or Porsche?
Porsche.
I know one of my colleagues will be very delighted to hear that.
Red.
George Clooney or Tom Cruise?
Well, it's brains as well as whatever one wants to see there. I think I'd have to have a meal with them and have the starter with John. I'd have to have one for starter and one for main course, and then just decide to dessert possibly on my own.
I'll tell you what, I might try and set that up. That would be wonderful.
So George makes the starter, yes, I don't.
I'm sure there are many ladies who would say exactly the same, including my wife. Rishi Sunak or Michael Gove?
I think they both have very interesting things to say, and I haven't actually seen Sunak, but I have actually heard and been this far away from Michael Gove when he's been speaking. So therefore, it's again, I would say that difficult decision, but just purely in terms of presence and the way that he articulates, and not that I necessarily attach to all of his values, I would say probably Michael Gove.
So not Dishy Rishi then?
No. Well, delightful, but it's
Brilliant. Dr. Pamela Edmonds, head at the Hampshire School in Chelsea. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.